And my hope is that you come back to this video every day of the challenge before our breathwork and meditation practice. What else did I want to say? As for props, this practice only requires a blanket, but this is in restorative yoga. Get all the props you have available to you, pillows, more blankets, maybe some yoga blocks, and you can practice in silence. You can put on your own tunes. I have a link in the chat for a playlist that I offer. You can give it a try. This is an all levels practice, but if some things do not feel good, please modify them. And if you don't know how to modify, let me know in the chat, and I'll be keeping an eye on it to make sure that you are all safe and comfortable. What else did I want to say? I think the last thing I want to mention is that this is a standalone yin and restorative class. This is a practice as a part of a breathwork and meditation challenge that I offer. And you can read about it more in a link up there that's pinned to the top of the chat. Let's start on our backs. We're going to set up for a gentle heart opener. As I mentioned, the prop that I would like you to have is a blanket, but you could use a pillow for it as well. We'll use a blanket to support our spine the long way. Unfold your blanket and then fold it 3 or 4 times. It depends on how thick your blanket is and how much elevation you would like under your back. If you do have a bolster that's kind of skinny and long, you can use it as well. This is where our spine will go onto. Keep your other props if you have any nearby, and let's sit with our hips in front of the blanket. Bend your knees and have your feet on the floor. Use your hands to help you lower down. We want the lengths of our spine to be supported. Tuck your blanket under your head so that your chin is lower than your forehead. And let your arms fall out by your sides or rest your hands on your body. You can bend your knees and step your feet a little bit wider. Let your knees come together and legs rest. You can straighten your legs and find sort of a supported shavasana here. Or maybe support your knees with a prop, pillow, or 2. You can also find Baddha Konasana legs. Soles of the feet together, knees out wide, and you can use 1 prop under your legs or 2 props, 1 under each knee. You can try a few things and find the one that feels particularly good today. Once you are ready to let go of the movements, settle into this shape. Walk your shoulder blades gently under your rib cage. Release any tension in your fingers, your toes. Soften the expression on your face. Let your tongue relax. And start to notice your breath, your full inhales and exhales. Let your forehead soften. Notice any areas that are calling for your attention as you scan yourself a few times from the crown of your head down to your toes and back up. Notice if your awareness shifted away from you. Bring it back. Deepen your breath even more. We'll be here for about a minute longer, or around 5 inhales and exhales. See if you can let each next breath be longer and fuller than the one before it. If your awareness shifted away from you, bring it back. Take one more full inhale and exhale. Before we shift out of this pose, I want you to note that this shape is one of the supine options for your breathwork and meditation position or asana. If you feel that you can breathe more fully with a little bit more support under your spine, you can use this shape to practice your breathwork or your meditation. However, know that supine poses sometimes put us to sleep. So if you're feeling a little bit tired already, maybe you avoid this shape. And we'll talk about other options later. Wiggle your fingers, your toes. If your knees are not bent yet, go ahead and bend them. Move the props out of the way if there are any under your knees. And send one arm back. Roll off your blanket and move it out of the way. Lower down onto your back. Take a moment in Shavasana. Straighten your legs. Let your arms relax. We'll find a gentle side body stretch. Banana pose. Bring your legs together. Make sure there is enough space above you, or otherwise you can bend your elbows and your arms back. And let your shoulders stay relaxed. We'll start with the legs. Walk your heels over to the left. It might feel nice to cross your left ankle over the right. Pause for a few moments to feel into the stretch in your right side body. And if you wish to add a little bit more, walk your arms, your head and shoulders to the left as well. Let your shoulders stay relaxed. Remember that you can bend your elbows, tuck your chin in a little bit, lengthen through the back of your neck, and gaze forward or maybe down to add the stretch in the right side of your neck to this pose. We'll be here for a few minutes, so let the intensity in your right side body be gentle and your effort be about 3 or 4 out of 10. So no pulling, no forcing. Instead, let the weight in your hips, your shoulders be even side to side. And see if you can soften into the stretch.
Fill the space in the right side of your ribcage with your breath. Let your breath fill up the right side of your waist, your right hip. Let your face stay soft. Relax your jaw. Take one more inhale and exhale. Uncross your arms and legs. Bring yourself to the center of your mat. Relax your arms down. Pause for a few moments. Side body stretch to the right. Reach your arms up and over. Straight arms or bent elbows. And walk your heels over to the right. Maybe cross your right ankle over your left. Stay here for a couple rounds of inhales and exhales as you feel into your left side body. We're looking for the same degree of sensation. Maybe your shape looks slightly or a lot different on this side. When you're ready, and if you need to, walk your head, shoulders, and your arms over to the right as well. Without forcing, just by noticing, use your breath to create more space in the left side of your body. Fill up the left side of your rib cage with air, left side of your waist, left hip. Notice if your awareness shifted away from you, bring it back. One more big inhale and exhale. And cross your arms and legs. Bring yourself back through the center. Pause in Shavasana for a couple moments, noticing any differences in two sides of your body. And bend your knees. Send one arm back. Roll over onto your side and onto your belly. Hands over each other. Rest your forehead down. Relax your hips into the floor, or you can bend your knees and windshield wiper your feet side to side a few times to release any tension in your lower back. We'll find Sphinx pose next. Come on up onto your arms. Release your feet down first if they're still moving. And let your elbows be somewhat under your shoulders. You can take your arms a little bit wider than your shoulders to give yourself a little bit more space if your shoulders feel tight. And if this is too much, you can use a rolled up blanket or a pillow to support your chest. This is what you can do with your blanket, and pillow will go the same way. It will give you a little bit more support. So if you have a choice, choose the one that feels most appropriate. A rectangular small fold, and then roll it up. You can go the other way so the fringes are sticking out. And this roll will go under your armpits and under your chest. We won't be in this shape for as long as in ones before it. Let yourself settle in and let yourself feel your breath filling up the front of your rib cage, your belly, your low belly, maybe even the front of your hips. You can close your eyes or lower your gaze. Your head lifted, or you can lower your chin down. If you have a block or two, you can support your forehead with your blocks. Relax your shoulder blades back. We'll take 3 more inhales and exhales here. As I mentioned, we won't be here for too long. Let each next breath be fuller and longer than the one before it. We're going to roll over onto either side. Doesn't matter which side it is, we'll do both of them eventually. So start to roll over onto your side, bend your knees, and let your blanket stay under your rib cage. So a little bit below your armpit. You can use your hand to support your head. You can lower your head down onto your arm or pillow and bend your knees as much as you need to. I like to bring my knees in front of my hips, and with the top arm we're going to take some circles. If you have space around you, keep your arms straight. If you don't have space around you, bend your elbow and bring your hand to your shoulder as you draw circles with your elbow. Go in one direction a few times. And let's switch it. When you feel even, release, pause. You can use your hand in front of you to support yourself. Let the weight of your body release into the blanket even more. Take one more big inhale and exhale. Use your hand to help you roll over onto your back. And then over onto the opposite side. So I'm going to switch over so I can still see you. Once you are turned all the way around, release the other side of your rib cage into the folded blanket. Your head can be supported by your hand or lower your head down onto your arm. A few moments here to settle in. And we'll start to take circles with the top arm. Doesn't matter which way you go first. A few circles one way. Remember that you can bend your elbow. And go ahead, change the direction. And when you feel even, release. Let yourself relax into the support underneath you. Soften and deepen your breath even more. Take one more inhale and exhale. Use your hands to lift yourself up. Pause for a moment in any sort of seat with your spine long, just so you can notice the space that you created in your side body. Let your shoulders relax. And open your eyes if they were closed. Unroll your blanket and fold it into enough support for you to use under your seat. We'll find a seated variation
with your shins a little bit more forward and parallel with the front of your mat or the front of the room. Let your sit bones relax down. You can shimmy the weight side to side. And lean your chest back a little bit more. Feel the strength of your core, lifting your rib cage away from your chest. Relax your shoulders down. Keep your gaze forward. And you can soften your gaze or close your eyes. This cross-legged seat is also an option for your breathwork and meditation practice. You might notice that it's requiring a little bit more of your physical effort. So try to find that very gentle balance between relaxation and engagement in your muscles so that you can continue to breathe fully. Sometimes when we try to sit up tall, we draw the belly button in so much that our breath stays up in our chest. We want to be able to breathe down into our hips. Feeling the length in the spine, in the front, in the back of the body, in your sides. Release your hands down by your sides. We'll find a twist. Inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, twist to the left. You can bring your right hand in front of your left shin, hold on to it, or you can go a little bit deeper and bring the hand onto your left thigh bone. It doesn't matter which shin is in front of you. I said left because it's that way for me, but whichever one it is for you, totally fine. Don't feel obligated to switch your legs. We'll do it next round anyway, or on the other side. Let your chin stay in line with your chest and lean your head back a little bit. Relax your shoulders. No need to force or push anything, just breathe. One more big inhale and exhale. Carefully, mindfully bring yourself back to the center. Pause. And let's switch the crossing of the legs. Release your fingertips down by your sides. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, twist to your right. Left hand on your shin or your thigh. Right hand by your right hip or behind you. Lean your chest back. Lean the back of your head back. And as you inhale, find more space in your spine. As you exhale, twist without forcing the movement. Keep your chin in line with your chest. Soften your jaw as you lift the crown of your head up. Release any tension in your face. One more relaxed inhale and exhale in your twist. Bring yourself back to the center. Pause for a moment in your seat. Notice any changes in the physical feeling of your rib cage, any changes in the capacity, the cadence of your breath. And bring the soles of your feet together, knees out. If you have any more props, feel free to use them in front of you. We'll find a Baddha Konasana fold. I actually like to bring my feet a little bit more forward instead of all the way to my hips. I feel that way I shift the sensation into my outer thighs instead of my inner thighs. So no, there is no wrong way to do it, and you have options of where you would like to feel. We will all have some sort of stretching sensation in our low back. That's what the target of this shape is, but let that sensation be gentle, about 3 or 4 out of 10. And we'll be here for about 3 minutes, so feeling the intensity of the shape will grow over time. Take one more big inhale and exhale.
Use your hands, lift yourself up. If you're using any props, move them out of the way. And then use your hands to lift your knees up. Take your feet a little bit wider than your hips, windshield wiper your knees side to side. And we'll find one more seated posture before we get down onto our backs. One more seat here, Virasana, Hero's Pose. If, as I mentioned, blanket is your only prop, we're going to fold it once more from the previous fold. So make sure it's nice and even because it's a pretty tight little roll. All right. I will be giving you side view. Come up onto your knees. Bring your knees together and your feet to about hips distance apart. Place your blanket between your ankles and sit back onto your heels. You can use your hands to move any muscles out of the way. I like to take my hands to my calves before I sit back, and I feel that that gives me a little bit more space. And with very gentle movement, lift your kneecaps one by one. Teeny tiny adjustment. And then let your hands relax down on your thighs, palms down or up. Shift the weight back into your sit bones. Let your shoulders relax. Close your eyes or lower your gaze without lowering your head. Continue to reach up with the crown of your head. Soften your jaw. This shape, Virasana, Hero's Pose, is also an option for your breath work and meditation practice. It might feel a little strenuous on some of our knees and ankles, and if this is the case, now you can use more props under your seat, or you can find a cross-legged seat as we discussed earlier. Take 3 more inhales and exhales here. Open your eyes gently if they were closed. Shift your weight forward and straighten your legs back one at a time. Release any tension in your knees, your ankles. Rock back and forth on your toes. And move your props out of the way. We'll make our way down into Shavasana, corpse pose. You can use any props to make it more comfortable for you to relax in this shape. A blanket under your head, pillow under your knees, blanket over you. We tend to cool down when we relax. Once you are in a shape that feels supportive, let go of any areas of tension, shake out any leftover tightness in your body. And let go of the movements eventually. Let go of any control of your breath. Rest in your shavasana. And I will bring you out in a few minutes. You can stay in your shavasana longer. Turn off your device and come back to stillness. If the rest of your evening, your day is calling for you, bring the movements back. Wiggle your fingers, your toes, rock your head gently side to side. And eventually take a full body stretch like you would first thing in the morning. Take a big breath in and let it all out. Release your hands if they were interlaced. Bend your knees, roll over onto either side of your body. You can use your arm under your head as a pillow. Use your hands to lift you up to a seat. Hands at the heart center, palms together or palms over each other. Inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, bow down. Namaste.